I think it's
And
working.
everything
Hi,
is
everyone.
happening.
It's Mike from SEOTpreneur here with Enrica. This is our TPT Seller live tips for TPT beginners. So if you're just starting your TPT store or you're a tadpole or you're a hamster, we're going to try this weekly series where we talk about some of the things that we're doing. I'll hear myself talking. I don't know how to turn that off. Um, and
Okay.
as you can imagine, there are technical glitches, but
Yes, a
it's
lot.
back to school season, and clearly I need to mute myself. I will figure that out. All right, Enrica, do you want to chat? And
Okay.
I'll stop chatting.
Hello, everybody. Everything is happening right now, so I'm not sure what will happen in 10 minutes,
Oh,
but
there we go.
we will survive this as well. No problem. I think I'm sharing my screen. I wanted to show something about freebies. Can you see it? Can you see my freebie?
Yeah, here we
Okay.
go.
Okay, yeah. This is one of my first covers, and it's really awful, to be honest. But I simply had something to put there to publish this was a maze, and it was really horrible, but okay. Let's talk about covers.
Well, maybe if I could start the question, because 10 minutes is not a lot of time, and I
Yeah,
do want
of
to try to
course.
keep us honest on the clock.
Of course.
And I don't I don't know how to mute this double voice thing, so we'll have to figure it out. Oh, I think it is on your end, Enrica. No, maybe not. We'll figure it out. But one of the questions is, what would you recommend to new TPT sellers? Because those are the people, like, if at the beginning of the journey, all we think about is just creating the lesson plan,
Yeah.
and then we just get it up. So, what should we know about product covers?
We should find a program that we like and then try to stick with it. Try to learn, try to study, and try to create our brand since the beginning. So, to make people recognize us when we look at some product. Oh, I can see that colors, that type of cover is I know him, I know her, and this is something that creates, you create makes you to be known around. So it's important, I think.
Okay, so then if that's the case, um, what what do you do? Like, how does it how does it appeal to the product? Like, why would someone click on one product listing then not? Because a lot of us are worried about, oh, I worry about TPT search, but it's not just the keywords that we have to think about. So can you sort of walk into how that product cover uh, enhances or detracts from the overall appeal?
Oh, we want the people to stop by our products. And what is it? It's not only TPT search engine, because if you are at the top of the page, but nobody stops there, there is no point. You must create something that is appealing and beautiful, and you're scrolling through covers, and I can say that I don't like them so much. None of them overall, because I can't read what's in it. I can't tell what's in it looking at the covers. The cover should have really a big um, title, and I should be able to read the title and to understand what's inside by looking at the cover.
I
So,
just to jump in here, I remember chatting with someone who bought one of my resources, and they said, I like asked them, why did you buy my resource? And they said, well, basically, I look for stores where it looks like people have put in effort, right? Because there's so
Oh,
many
yeah.
people who create stuff and then they never get beyond that starting step. But if your store looks like you put in the time, it looks like you've tried to have a brand. If you look, it doesn't have to be perfect, but if it looks like you're
Yeah.
putting in the effort, you're more likely to appeal to people. Enrica, I'm going to share your screen here. And I
Yeah.
guess if we sort of jump into the question here, can you explain how you design a TPT cover and what steps you think are involved?
Oh yeah, I studied a lot. This was one of my first covers, and as you can see, it's quite awful. My logo was too big, and it was confusing. So I decided for my colors that are this lilac pink. I'm not sure, and I have a gold board, and this is everywhere in my covers. You can find this band, and you can find this frame. And what I do right now, I have a template and I change it according to the product that I create, but I try to show everything that is inside my product. In this case, is a pixel art, and I show a computer and the pixel art, but it's also printable. So I've got my notebook and pencils and a sheet that shows my products. This is and uh, the cover needs to be not too busy, because if you have a busy cover, people get confused, and you need to be clear in what you're showing.
Can you share that screen that you just had up? Because I'm going to share a tip that I use, and I use it with my students. The one that
Okay.
you just had with your PowerPoint. That's PowerPoint that you're using, right?
Yeah, that's PowerPoint.
And I
Okay,
like
let me show
so
you this one.
some. Yeah, that's it. So I'll add it here. Um, One of the things. So when I used to teach grade 8, and we would do covers or whatever's with Google Slides, the big tip I would tell them, and this works for TPT sellers too, is when you're designing, we design with the big thing and we're looking at this gigantic thing, but really I like to tell my students, look at the thumbnail on the left hand side, like where it says 1, 2, 3, because that's the size that people will actually see, right?
Yeah,
And so if
that's the reason why I say they need to have clear titles.
right,
They,
and that's exactly it. Like in Canva, when you're designing in this gigantic thing, but the reality is when people are finding it on TPT search, if I switch back to the TPT search page here, um, the thumbnails are small. So you have to
yeah,
create that impression. Like I like in yours how you have the picture of like the computer plus the printable and the mock-ups. Like that gives people an idea of how they could possibly use it. I'm going to jump to the
okay.
last question here.
Hmm.
How? Oh no, that's not the right question.
Yep.
Maybe I didn't actually finish covering it up here.
Yeah.
Um, what what do you use? Like, what software should someone just starting out? So they
Uh,
just published their
that's a,
first product.
that's a choice. You can use Canva. You can use what you want. I like PowerPoint because I know PowerPoint well. I know how to use it, and I have all my templates in it. So it's easy for me to use PowerPoint. But you might also use, I don't know, like Google Slides or whatever you want. There is
Yeah.
not a, my suggestion is square covers, but
Yes.
you could also decide to do them rectangular or something else, and there is no problem.
I think especially if you're just beginning TPT stuff, there's a lot of noise and like, oh, I should do this or you should use Canva. I think you nailed it, Enrica. Like, just start with whatever you know. So if you know
No,
PowerPoint, use
there
PowerPoint.
is no point of
Yeah.
getting crazy trying to learn a new program if you know an old one that works as well. There
Right.
is just
So
reduce the stress. you know?
so to piggyback on that, I started with Google Slides because that's what I knew. But now that I've discovered Canva, I love Canva. Like the
I
ability
love
to delete
Canva
the
too.
yeah,
And you should also try Microsoft Design. That is also free, but
Microsoft
Microsoft
Design.
Designer, yeah,
Okay.
it's
Um,
free and it's like Canva on steroids,
wow. Okay.
but it doesn't let you schedule posts. So I will stick with Canva for now.
All right. We are at the 10-minute mark, so I'm going to wrap things
Okay,
up. This is our second episode. Enriquez, thank you so much for joining us.
thank
Um,
you. I
we're going to come
enjoy.
up with this weekly thing. And then for people watching this, if you're beginners, if you're experts, if you're somewhere in between, we'd love to know what you'd like to see. Like we have ideas of things that we're facing and that we like to talk about. But if you have questions at the beginning of the journey, feel free to leave a comment and maybe we'll touch base next time. Any last words, Enrica?
Oh, just enjoy the journey, as I always say.
I think so too. And coffee. I definitely have coffee
Coffee,
keeps me
yes.
going. All
Yeah,
right.
it's the evening for me, so no coffee or I won't sleep, but you know,
All right. We'll see you next time, everybody. Bye bye now.
bye.